What up, epic Fortnite gamers? Vale 4XD here, and seeing as Fortnite Island has been swallowed into a black hole and I haven't been able to play the game for however long it's been, 36 hours or something, because I love Fortnite so fucking much, I thought, why the hell not? Let's do another Q&A video to pass the time. Definitely doesn't have anything to do with the fact that the Need for Speed video is taking forever to write. No siree. But yeah, just wanted to do another Q&A video because I really enjoyed doing the first one. Hopefully it won't be as long. Still got like 150 questions to answer. Oh geez. For the sake of brevity, I'll try and get through them as fast as possible. And I've also mostly omitted certain questions such as, oh, how do you feel about this game? How do you feel about that game? Just because those questions can get sort of repetitive after a little while. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who did submit a question. And to those who don't get their question answered, either because I just felt it to be a little bit redundant to be answering it in a video, or because maybe it was a little bit too personal and I didn't want to share it in a video, just hit me up on Twitter or Discord or wherever and I'll answer them there. Anyway, let's hop in. Can you do a Fortnite Let's? Oh, for fuck's sake. Will you do everything wrong with Sly Cooper? That's not necessarily up to me. That's completely up to my patrons. I have a poll over on Patreon where anyone who's donating any more than $1 can choose to vote for whatever game comes next. And right now, Sly Cooper is the front runner, so likely yes. Are you ever going to do everything right with part of the Ratchet and Clank series? You already did that everything wrong with part. It feels incomplete. Definitely not the whole Ratchet and Clank series, because I really don't feel like going through every single game again and dedicating half of my channel to that entire series again, but I will be tackling at least Ratchet and Clank 3, if not the original trilogy. And not just everything right, but I'm going to completely redo the videos as well, so everything right and wrong with. What Sin video did you have the most and least fun working on? For the most fun, it'd be a tie between the Full Frontal Assault video, mostly because of the whole glitchy fucking guinea pig is the key thing that I had happening, or the Final Fantasy X one, because that was sort of a passion project of mine. That's one of my favorite games pretty much ever, and that I don't know, that was just really fun to work on, even though it was an hour and a half long, I think. As for least, probably Tools of Destruction, if only because I had to re-record that game 4 times before I had enough footage, because it kept corrupting on me because Elgato are a bunch of wankers. How old are you? If that's too personal for you, what's your address? I'm 26 and my address is 31 Spooner Street in Quahog in Rhode Island. Why haven't you changed your YouTube profile pic to your Sona yet? And also, how does one submit fan art, lol? Haven't changed it because I wanted to do a video where I introduced my Protogen or potentially Raccoon fursona. I actually haven't sort of decided which one I want to use yet. I said I was going to use the Protogen, but then I accidentally came up with kind of a cute looking raccoon, and now I'm sort of really torn between the two. As for fan art, I don't know, just submit it to me on Twitter, DM me, at me, I don't really care. Send it to my email as well, which you can also find on Twitter. Either way, I check pretty much all my Twitter notifications, so if you do send it there, I will likely see it. Will you ever bring back the Acquaintances or start something like it in some form? I don't know about group Let's Plays, that ship's kind of already sailed for me. I didn't really, I don't know, I'm not sure if that's something I would enjoy doing anymore. I am considering streams though. Where is my robot backpack helicopter friend thing XDIDK? In all seriousness, what made you want to make an EO parody of Ratchet and Clank 3 in the first place? The video that blew up and pretty much put you where you are today. Literally just wanted to copy someone else's format for April Fools. That's pretty much the whole story for that. Who do you main in Smash? If you don't have Smash, maybe Overwatch? Who do I main in Smash? Shit. I don't play Smash a terrible lot. I don't know if I have one specific main. It's probably between Pikachu, Ike, Piranha Plant, maybe Lucario? I'm not entirely sure on that one. As for Overwatch, my main is obviously Winnie the Pooh. You got shapeshifting, but only 4 forms. What do you pick? Goat, Protogen, Raccoon, and Yo Mama? What are some of your favorite anime? Gurren Lagann and Steins Gate, I think, would sort of fight for the top spot. And then on top of that, there'd also be Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, My Hero Academia. Look how much of a casual anime fan I am. Welcome to the NHK as well. That's a really good one that I don't hear a lot of people talk about. And I guess more recently as well, Carol and Tuesday was really good. I'm still listening to the soundtrack for that a lot. If you have Netflix, definitely give that a go. Even though only half of it is currently available on Netflix, it's still a pretty wild ride. I'd say it's worth watching, even if it's just for the music alone. Do you have amiibos? It's a very small collection, but they like to watch over me while I sleep. Do you believe that there is no such thing as a stupid question? I guess so. I mean, questions are sort of there to relieve someone of their stupidity about a subject, right?
How do I shit and fart and cum all over the screen?
Are you a part of the Ferry fandom, as that picture is a Protogen? Yeah, that's sort of a dead giveaway, isn't it? Have you ever gotten all golds in the license tests on GT4? Only the national B and A licenses. I got most of the gold medals in the international ones as well. Like, I actually did get the gold on the Nürburgring one, and like, I was like, what the fuck? I should be able to get all the gold on all of them now, and Yeah, that just never happened. What's your opinion on Sayo? I love Sayos, just slap a bit of butter and Vegemite on them. Pretty good snack. Yeah, okay, I get it. Sword Art Online, whatever. The first arc, I guess, was fine. Apparently the new one with the girl character and the guns and stuff was kind of good, but I don't know, I think I've sort of fallen off that train.
Are you into ASMR? I don't know. Are you enjoying listening to my beard scratching against the pop filter?
The answer is no. Since it's spooky month, as of this writing, what's scarier? Knowing that through algebraic transactions, sharing a toilet with roommates means you've all hugged each other's butts with your respective set of cheekage, or transphobes further plaguing the gene pool? I would rather touch someone else's dirty ass genes than having to put up with people who don't think you're valid just because of their extremely limited worldview. What is the most bizarre or obscure game you own in your collection? A little while back, I was going to do a video on cooking games, back when I still planned on using live action footage instead of nothing. And one of the games I planned on doing was a game called Ready Steady Cook for the Wii, which was based on the UK cooking show. It's just a bunch of slapping PNGs around and literally look at this footage. I had 3,000 words written on this piece of shit. Okay, Dave, I know you've written out two versions of the same question here, and I do appreciate the effort, but your profile picture is distracting me. Every time I look at it, it for some reason looks like Homer Simpson screaming. So if you could change that, like, now, that'd be great. Is there anything you've experienced from gaming and or IRL that is worse than going through Snivelac in its entirety? I don't know, anxiety, gender dysphoria, the Bavel Cloister of Trials, I don't know, take your pick. Bulge or booty? I am not ashamed to say, give me some of that bulge, baby. Favorite thing about Australia? The fact that we have double quarter pounders as a permanent part of our menu at McDonald's, and meanwhile the UK is like, oh, get in, limited time only, double quarter pounder. Haha, suck it, UK. First Brexit and now this, your country's in shambles. Can you do a black hole let's play? Anyway, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I have a great question. Why are you the best person in the world? God damn it, Nat, why do you have to ask me shit like that? Fuck, I love you. Why are you so fucking amazing? Why are these questions back to back? What the hell, iPad? I didn't ask for all this praise. Get out of here. I want to be asked questions about being a furry, other embarrassing shit. I don't want... I think the biggest question that needs to be asked is this. Boobs or butts? I do like me a little bit of that gluteus maximus every now and then, but it's all about the boobs, baby. What is your all-time favorite game? I don't know if I can pin exactly one game down, so I'll do you better and give you my top 5. Dragon Quest VIII, Rock Band 3, Undertale, Gran Turismo 4, and Pokemon Crystal. You claim to be an Aussie, and yet in your recent house tour there wasn't a single Australian flag. What do you have to say about this crime against the country, you piece of taint? PS, your content is good, but it could use some overall improvements editing-wise, and there are a few mistakes in your older stuff. Apart from that, it's good stuff. Wow, a little bit of criticism. That's fine. No, that's fine. I can take criticism. Where do you live? Also, we don't have any Australian flags hung up because... Who has Australian flags hung up in their home anywhere in this country? I don't know, like, obviously we're proud of our country, most of us, I would assume, probably not actually as many anymore, but we're still not exactly the most patriotic, are we? Have you ever considered created a video where you play games with fans or letting fans submit their own content for you to show off? Definitely considered it, but I don't exactly know what I'd play. I was actually going to do something with Ratchet and Clank 3 or Ratchet, Deadlocked, Gladiator, whatever the fuck it's called, before the server shut down, which was kind of annoying. Apparently you can still play it online, but I'd rather not fuck around with that, to be honest. But it's still something I'm open to. I just sort of have to think of something that I'm interested in. So at the very least, one other idea that I'm thinking of, when I get bigger, obviously, when I have more of an audience, I wouldn't mind doing like a fucking thing at the end where I show off fan art and stuff, like all the animators tend to do. That'd be kind of neat, and some other people have shown some interest in that idea, so I don't know, that could be kind of cool if people actually want to draw me and my stupid sonas. What was your first game console? I do believe it was a Sega Master System or Genesis or whatever we call it here in Australia, and I think all we had was Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and I think it was Another World. I don't actually know if that was on the Master System or not. Oh, and Echo the Dolphin, of course. You get one crap superpower. Go! Mine would be the ability to shoot bees from my hand. Ah, yes, a fan of Dr. Bees, I see. My crap power would be to instantly delete all contents from my stomach so I can just carry on eating. Probably the worst thing for me. Why stop the everything wrong with series? I don't like change. You're not going to get me to say that, at least not in the voice. You're not going to get me to say it in the voice. But, I mean, I haven't stopped. It's still going. It's more or less the same thing. There's just a little bit more of a focus on the wins. I don't know if this is actually a serious question or not, and whether I should actually be giving it a serious answer, but whatever. I know this question is a bit political, but if you're Australian and a furry, are you allowed to like emus? No. When will the segregation commence? Serious question, what's your favorite car overall? I would probably say the Pagani Zonda, I think it's pronounced Cinque? I don't know, that thing's fucking hot. How confident do you feel about yourself now? How did you feel about yourself in the very beginning, and how do you feel now about your first videos? Though I would say I feel more confident about myself, there's still, I wouldn't necessarily say a lack of confidence, but there is always that feeling that a video is going to bomb. Well, most of my videos do bomb anyway because I don't exactly get very many views, but you know, there's always that underlying fear that they're going to bomb, or they're going to, people aren't going to like them nearly as much, because I feel like I've grown more confident about writing about games in general, more in depth about their design. But coming up with jokes has become a lot more difficult. Like calling things like I don't like change and we get it, X was a thing. Jokes is a little bit of a stretch, but it's pretty fucking hard like coming up with something like that people can actually sort of quote back at you. Because people do quote a lot of my old videos back to me, but I do notice that my newer videos aren't nearly as quotable, and to an extent I'm okay with that, but that also makes me think, do people actually enjoy these videos as much? Because I'm not sure necessarily whether I want to keep going towards a slightly more comedic route with just a couple little like quips and jokes and similes thrown in, or whether I want to go balls to the wall and start doing like fucking full-on JonTron, Scott the Woz, etc stuff. And I feel like I lean more towards the former just because it is really hard for me to come up with jokes, and I feel much more comfortable just talking about a game and then occasionally going, haha, look, here's a funny. Again, calling it a funny is a stretch, but I don't know, that's how I feel. I would say yes, I am more confident, but there is still, I don't know, I don't know, it's weird. Being a YouTuber is weird. Can I take your order, please? Can I get a, why didn't you go with a goat avatar? I'm not a furry, but if I was one, I would love to have an avatar as cool as that. Do you think it's cool? I'm sorry, that's rude. The goat one is honestly probably my least favorite at this point. It's got kind of a weird design, like it's still sort of got a human face, but the nose is pushed out, and then it's got my weird curly hair thing, which I'm still debating whether I should even use that on my raccoon version fursona thing. Just something about it just looks weird, and I like it and it's cute, but I don't know if I would feel comfortable like actually using that as my YouTube persona, but I'll at least try not to neglect him. How does your family think of you being a furry? They don't know, and I don't plan to tell them. Which Final Fantasy game would you like to see remade on the same level as Final Fantasy VII? Okay, honestly, none. I'm just kind of getting sick and tired of the whole remake thing. There's some remakes I really like. I especially enjoy like Spyro and stuff, but nah, I'm kind of over it. I want to see new games. What is the answer to this question? Shut. How many hats can you fit on your head at once? None, my head is too fat. What's the most work you've ever had to do to make a game run? Test Drive Unlimited 2 apparently doesn't work on Windows 10 because of some fucking DRM bullshit, so you have to disable that, which is already kind of, you shouldn't really be doing it apparently. And even after I did it, still didn't work. What happened to that one game you chucked into the bushes a while ago? Oh, Spyro Reignited. I fished that out of the bush with a stick. It kind of fell into the river, so I had to throw it away anyway. How does one become friends with you? Because you are literally one of the most charismatic channels on YouTube, and I would love to be your friend. Anybody notice how I keep picking the questions that say how cool I am? But honestly, if you want to be my friend, I don't know, get on Twitter, talk to me for a bit. I usually end up sort of kind of becoming friends with people who get into my mentions and talk to me about stuff anyway, so ease yourself in. Don't just come up to me and say, hey, I want to be a friend, because I'll be like, oh no, anxiety, someone likes me. What is your opinion on the Ferry cruise? The Ferry what? With how toxic the furry fandom has been in recent years, the cool kid thing to do is to leave it, but you chose to jump on while it's sinking. How does it feel to be a rebel? It's sinking? I didn't even notice. Like most of the negative stuff I've seen about the furry fandom is like there was this one dude who was going around in a really grotty looking costume who was like in his 40s or something, and he was like a child predator or something, I don't know. But otherwise, my experience with the fandom has been really good. Everyone's been super welcoming, they all draw great art, and even the ones who don't draw art are just super chill, nice people. Can we get an everything wrong with different YouTuber series? You seem quite controversial, let's do this. Me? Controversial? What the fuck? Is this because of the 1488 thing? Maybe because I said the N-word once, even though it was part of a joke? Or is it because I said who the fuck is Colin's Key? As a child before you knew about YouTubers, what was your dream job? When I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7, I think my dream job would have been making video games, because I did sort of used to draw a lot of mock-ups of my own video games in like little scrapbooks and stuff, mostly of fighting games because I was really into Tekken at the time. And then as I grew up, I was like, actually, I think I want to write because I have a lot of interesting scenarios in my head that I'd sort of like to be able to connect together and call a story. And that sort of happened, considering I wrote a 140,000 word Pokemon fanfiction. And maybe one day I'd actually still kind of like to pursue that, because I still have a lot of ideas about, like, I don't know, I really want to build a world. Would fuck a fish? A big titty fish? Oh, that's good for you, man. Just keep your sick, twisted fantasies away from me. Have you ever thought about doing one of those, like, furry commentator things where your persona / fursona is on screen changing frames while you speak? That's actually the goal, yeah. I want to do that once I do the video where I introduce my fursona as my official channel mascot. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to do that. It might be partway through the Need for Speed retrospective series. I kind of wanted to have it done before the Need for Speed retrospective series, but it just sort of didn't happen. I'm still getting better at drawing, and I might even just end up commissioning someone at some point, but whatever. From one to Corkat, how Aussie are you after the first Q&A got posted? Thongs and cargo shorts on a winter's day. How's Dilbert? No one cares. Any more Clone Hero charts coming, or is it a case of not enough time in the universe? Oh, yeah, of course. No, I'm still working on Clone Hero charts. I've actually, for the sake of this video, why not? I'm gonna have maybe a small pack of charts I've recently done, but if not, I'm at least going to have one chart up, which will be a chart for Giorno's theme from JoJo Golden Wind, which is personally one of my favorite charts I've pretty much ever done. It'll probably be in the description. Tell us more about your fursona, honestly. Not sure if that counts as a question though. Of course it does. Remy was a goat, and then I decided that he would have shape-shifting powers so that I wouldn't have to decide on just one species. He's a short boy, he's only 4'5", because short boys are cute. And honestly, he just takes on a lot of my own traits. And also, like me, he's a little absent-minded, a little slow on the uptake, so to speak. And don't be surprised if in like a year or so, he's got 20 different forms because of how indecisive I am. Do you truly think you're safe? Cran, put the knife down. Put the knife down. We can talk through this, okay? Do you think you'll ever stop making everything wrong with videos and search for greener pastures? I do think you put enough of your personality into them so it doesn't feel dishonest, but as we all know, the CinemaSins parodies have a bit of a bad rep for being lazy. And I'm kind of two minds about it. On one hand, I do really like making the everything right and wrong with videos because it lets me tackle games in a way that you sort of can't with a standard review unless you feel like making that review really long. But on the other hand, I get it. Yes, it's very derivative. It doesn't feel like it's my own sort of thing. Like, obviously, yes, I do feel like I put my own spin on it by not only trying to be more serious for the most part and actually talking about things that are a criticism, plus obviously it being about video games, plus also adding in the win counter. Obviously, comparisons are still going to be drawn, and I understand that. And honestly, I don't think I'll do them forever, if only because while I do like making the Everything Right and Wrong With series, it does sort of eat into my time making the reviews, which, like I said, I do like making the e-raws, but the reviews are my babies. The Need for Speed video that I'm working on right now is like a very big passion project of mine. And there are a lot of other games that I would love to review, and I just sort of don't have the time because the e-raws do sort of eat into that. But don't take it like I just suddenly hate the e-raw videos. I still do like them a lot. I still do like making them. I still like writing them. I still like playing the games for them. But the reviews will always be the thing I want to do. And like, obviously I'll continue doing the e-raws for a good while, but at some point I am probably going to say, yeah, I'm done. Maybe when I'm satisfied with the amount of games I've covered. I don't know exactly when that will be, but that's my 2 cents on that. What do you do if the key to your chastity cage breaks? Please help. My dick is so purple it looks like a strained eggplant. Maybe just send me some pics for examination purposes. Yes. Yes, that's it. Which of your sonas is the cutest? Don't ask me that. That's like trying to choose a favorite child. What do you think is the best console or platform? I don't know. I feel like they all have their strengths and weaknesses. I don't know if I could decide which one is the best, but it definitely wouldn't be Xbox One. If you had the power to change one thing in any games company, which company would it be, and what change would you make? And would it involve ferrets? It seems like Game Freak doesn't know how to optimize their games, so clearly what they need to do is replace the hamsters in the wheels with ferrets, of course, because ferrets are better, bigger, faster, much more powerful. I promise I'll draw you a ferret one day, Ben. The crown, the scepter, the giant walking throne and legion of loyal robotic commandos. I didn't say a name, but he popped in your head anyway, didn't he? Is it bad that my first thought was of this Warhammer boy? What made you a furry, and why is this usually your main self-deprecating joke? I'd probably say Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, because the idea of turning into a Pokemon was kinda cool at the time, actually still is. And it's my go-to self-deprecating joke. Well, it was my go-to self-deprecating joke because haha furries, right? Fucking degenerates. I'm sort of avoiding doing that now. Like, I might do it every now and then, but the whole not helping Aaron thing, that's not really gonna happen anymore. Dogs or cats? Absolutely a cat person. I recall you mentioned having depression before. How do you typically deal with it? What do you recommend doing? I was never like clinically diagnosed or anything. It's more just me being really sad and anxious and fed up with myself as a person at times. This is getting a little bit real, I apologize. But on those days when I just feel like a big piece of shit, the best thing, maybe not for everyone, but the best thing for me is to just get outside and go for a walk. I usually end up taking my phone and my headphones with me and just listening to music, maybe sitting down somewhere like near a lagoon or something and just chilling out, listening to my favorite beats. Another thing I find that also helps me personally is getting out the Rock Band drums and just bashing them for, I don't know, a solid hour. And if the house is ever empty, another good thing to do is get on Rock Band. You don't even need Rock Band for this, obviously, but singing. Singing turns out to just de-stress me really well. Obviously, what works for me might not work for others, but it's always worth trying out different things to see what works for you. Will you ever do a collaboration video? I find that I work better alone most of the time, so I don't necessarily see myself pumping out collaboration videos left and right, but at some point, yes, I would definitely love to do one, and I've got a whole bunch of people who want to do one with me, and a whole bunch of people that I would personally love to do one with, so I don't know exactly when you should expect one, but yeah, sometime. Not really a question, but I use your catchphrase "I don't like change" for my insane Dungeons & Dragons character, voice and all. Thank you, XD, minus 50 cents for making other players laugh. Hey man, no problem, you can take "I don't like change", I don't fucking want it. Still though, that's pretty cool. What was the first time you genuinely felt disappointed in a video game? Ford vs Chevy. That's why I made the video with it, because I remember having the choice between Ford vs Chevy and V8 Supercars 3. What an absolute fucking dumbass I was to pick Ford vs Chevy over V8 Supercars 3. Like, yeah, it was $30 cheaper, but it just does not compare at all. Otherwise, more recently, Final Fantasy Type 0, Need for Speed Payback at launch at the very least, and The Crew 2, I think would be my 3 go-to disappointments. Have you seen the new fitness Nintendo game coming out this or next week? What do you think about the bad guy? He is fucking hot! Why isn't your fursona a Lombax, or a dragon even? You said it yourself in the Spyro videos, dragons are hot boys. If I turn Remy into something else, it's probably going to be a dragon next anyway. As for Lombax, I don't know, I feel kind of weird making him a Lombax for some reason. It's kind of hard to explain. I'd rather not sit here trying to figure out why. Will you do everything right and wrong with Crash Bandicoot? P.S. How do you view lesbian relationships? I view them as completely valid. I don't exactly know how to answer that, because lesbians, it's... Well, what do you expect? I'm bisexual. What do you think I'm just going to say? Bisexual's valid. Lesbians can get the fuck out. As for E-Raw Crash Bandicoot, I don't know how exactly I'd tackle that. It's kind of hard to tackle a platformer that has almost no story whatsoever. So I won't outright say no, but it's probably very unlikely. What are your favorite hentais? Tamashi insert. Next question. In the bisexual sense of the word, are you a giver or a taker? Whatever you want me to be, baby. Do you know Joe? Oh yeah, Joe Mama. I fucked her last night. It's like throwing a damn sausage down a hallway. If you could get 3 gadgets, items, or weapons from the Ratchet and Clank universe that would work the same way IRL, what would it be? The Sheepinator, Hologuise, and Tiraguise. Because I want to be cute. Do you enjoy the moments in life when fate decides that something will deviate from the normal status quo of your day-to-day movement through the universe? I don't know. Do you enjoy having teeth? What would you like to see in a future installment of Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter? For Jak and Daxter, honestly, I'd just like to see them return the form and just sort of make a spiritual successor to the very first game, more so than anything else. As for Ratchet and Clank, I appreciate that the games have been like so rigidly linear for so long, but for the next game, I'm kind of thinking maybe something more open. would be more interesting. I'm not necessarily saying full-on open world, but maybe a slightly more open structure. Maybe with bigger planets that you can go around, maybe pick up some side quests or something on. Like, open world games are sort of everywhere in this day and age, but I would really like to see how a Ratchet and Clank game would tackle it. Do protogens charge by plugging themselves into an outlet? What would you do not to get bored while having a recharge? Well, they're still like half organic, like 60% or 40% or something. They don't really need to charge per se. I think it's just like, I don't know if I'm spreading misinformation here. I think it's supposed to just be like you eat and you power yourself, kinda. I don't know. I should probably know. Can you ever do a workout video? No. What online game do you actively play? Gran Turismo Sport, and even then I wouldn't necessarily say actively. How are you still on YouTube? I ask myself that question every day. Clearly I'm doing something right, because you fuckers still want me around. I don't even know, I'm just spitballing. Kiss, marry, kill. Jack, Ratchet, Spyro. I would, kiss Ratchet, because even though he's got like a massive arsenal and he seems like a nice guy, he seems kind of boring if you actually got to get to know him. I'd marry Spyro. Actually, that sounds kind of weird because he's a child, so let's change marry to be the proud father of Spyro. And kill Jack, because he would probably kill me at some point. Is your protogen a goat hybrid? Well, I don't think you're actually allowed to combine other species with protogen. I think that's sort of against the rules, but essentially just pick the goat Remy colors, because I couldn't really think of another color palette at the time, but I might end up changing that to be something, I don't know, darker, maybe? Just out of curiosity, have you ever played any games from the Kingdom Hearts series? What are some newer games that you really enjoy? Recently, I've been getting into Wreckfest on PS4, and the damage model on that just makes that really addicting. Otherwise, I haven't picked up too many new games. I've made very little progress on Borderlands 3, and I also picked up Dragon Quest XI again for the Switch, even though I finished it mostly on PS4. When I found out that we were getting an enhanced Switch port with the orchestral music, which I wanted from the very beginning, I was like, I can't resist, I'm just gonna have to buy it again. Do you watch JoJo? And if so, which JoJo is your favorite? Also, who is your favorite JoBro? If your favorite JoJo is anyone other than Joseph, then you're objectively wrong. As for JoBro, that's kind of a hard one. I tend to like a lot of the JoBros, to be honest. I do kind of like Polnareff, mostly because it's funny to say his name in the Japanese accent. Porunedefu. Porunedefu. Since I can't ask if you like change, do you like when a video game sequel makes very little changes for the most part, only having new levels and a new story? If I like a game and then the developer comes out and says, hey, here's more game, I mean, who would complain, honestly? Sequels don't have to be revolutionary all the time. They can just be iterative of their own selves. Do you think a Microsoft Smash game could work, even though it might just be Gears of War versus Halo, mostly? Hey, don't forget Car from Forza. It could work. They would probably have to dig sort of deep, because they don't exactly have a lot of distinguishable IPs. Like, I guess they could do Ori, maybe some Crackdown representative. There really isn't a lot to pull from. Maybe Super Lucky's Tale. But I think if Microsoft were to do one, they would probably end up pulling from third parties a lot. Were you a Ferry before and just not open about it, or is this something you discovered more recently? Yeah, I've been one for years. I've been one since fucking high school, for the love of God. I guess I never really opened up about it because I don't find it nearly as cringy as it used to be, because cringe culture is dead and you can do whatever the fuck you want. Favorite type of pizza? Mediterranean. What kind of hardware specs does Protogen Remy have? Can he run Minecraft? He runs on a very old Intel i7 laptop processor, only has about 4GB RAM, maybe 500GB hard drive, and an AMD graphics card, which practically means he's useless. Can he run Minecraft? Yes, if you only want to see, 10 feet in front of you. Opinions on Naga OCs? Valid. Valid as fuck. Wrap that tail around my neck and choke me. Favorite My Hero Academia character? Doesn't even have to be from Class 1A. It's probably a toss-up between Tokoyami, Momo, and All Might. Also, don't kill me, but I kinda like Mineta. Not for his personality, like his personality's fucking despicable, but I just think he's cute. I like his design. Balls.
I love balls.
What's your opinion on the Ratchet and Clank movie? Dull, forgettable, not as bad as some people say, but compared to most of the animated movies we've been getting recently, it just pales in comparison. Not really worth watching unless I don't even know if it's worth watching if you're a fan of the series. It just kind of exists. What is your kink? Well, that kind of already got answered for me. So what's the backstory behind your fursona? Well, around about the time that I was trying to think of a species for my fursona, the Twitter account for an upcoming indie 3D platformer called Billy Bustup made this tweet that said something along the lines of, if you're reading this tweet, you're a goat now. And I took that as a literal prompt to turn my YouTube sona into a humanoid goat. I'm not even a big fan of goats. I was just like, oh, a prompt, I'm gonna do it, why not? And then I was using it for a couple months, and then I thought, I don't know if I actually want a goat, because I'm not that big on goats. I like goats, but compared to some of my other favorite animals, kangaroos, mice, raccoons, that sort of thing, I don't know if a goat really suits Remy. So I decided that maybe he should be a shapeshifter or something, so that if I ever feel like I want to make him a different species, I can, and it's easily explainable. So I drew him as a protogen and as a raccoon, and he'll probably get drawn as a lot of other species at some point. Also, do they like change? Well, considering they're a shapeshifter, yes, they like change. Are you happy? Does Fluff Robot take hug? Of course they do, Uwu. Hugs and nuzzles you. Is it true that the furry community has given you a paw fetish? No, I'm blaming that one on Sparky. Hi Vale, have you fixed your damn guitar yet? Nope. As much as I'd love to get it fixed and actually continue learning how to play the damn thing, just haven't had the time. What is your favorite genre of music? Again, it's kind of hard to pin down an exact favorite, but I do listen to a lot of pop punk, progressive rock and metal, a little bit of thrash metal, a little bit of normal metal, a hell of a lot of Japanese rock, and just generally whatever. I don't know if I could exactly pick a favorite. Hey Vale, what's your favorite meme? Super Mario in real life. Would you play Hot Wheels World Race? No, all Hot Wheels games are stinky. Any games you thought you wouldn't enjoy but ended up really liking? If so, which? I think the one that jumps out at me the most would be Wolfenstein: The New Order, because I remember playing the first level and being like, wow, this is just gonna kind of be a generic fucking army shooter piece of crap. But then I got into the second level and was like, wow, actually the story's kind of cool, and I kept playing and the set pieces kept getting better and better, and eventually I went to the fucking moon and I was like, what is this game? So I think I've finished Wolfenstein probably, I don't know, 4 times at this point, 3 or 4, I don't know. Hell, I'm considering picking it up on PC again. What rhymes with orange? Sporange. Look it up. How invested into the lore of Lance and Janice are you? Lance and Janice said trans rights. What is scarier, magpies or spiders? Magpies, absolutely. We live in a den of the stupid cunts. Every time I walk outside, there's one of the fucking idiots just standing there waiting for me to fucking feed them something. And I can't walk anywhere because some magpie will be like, oh, you're within a 3-kilometer radius of my home. Fuck you, I'm gonna swoop you, bitch. Favorite Ratchet and Clank planet? I still really love Altana's Orbit. I know that's technically not a planet, but I'm just gonna assume planet means level, so I'll say Altana's Orbit. I still love the atmosphere of that, the music, the way some of the enemies sound like they're constipated when you kill them. I don't know, it's just a fun planet. Have you seen any Studio Ghibli movie? If you have, then which one is your least favorite? My neighbor Totoro is fucking boring. What do you believe is your greatest achievement? Not to get too sappy, but I believe one of, if not my greatest achievements, is building up such an amazing community. One that's been built on tolerance and acceptance and respect. Like, every time I've opened up on this channel, you guys have been the most supportive and accepting group of people out there. And you're also the most patient bastards ever, which I could not be more thankful for. So, yeah, you guys. What sports are you not particularly good at? Literally fucking all of them. If you went to a bar and saw 3 different tables, one with 17 tiny little Smurfs who are obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's, one with the entire Sydney Symphony Orchestra but they're all K-pop stans, and a table with 10 Pickle Rick shirt wearing Rick and Morty superfans, which would you sit at? You have to sit at least one of these tables, otherwise you'll be forced to watch all of the Netflix original show Lava Island on repeat for 3 years. Yo, they made a whole show out of these lava dudes? Fuck yeah, I'm gonna sit down and watch that. Screw your K-pop stans and Rick and Morty fans and whatever the other one was. Asking the real questions here. Where are our Raccoon Remy nudes you promised? Bro, I ain't drawing fucking nudes of my characters. If you want nudes so bad, draw them yourself. Ooh, wanna RP with me? You can be Remy, Owo. You joke, but I'm down as fuck to RP, bruh. Why do you put yourself through the pain of being asked potentially life-ruining questions? Because I have a public humiliation kink. When will you stream? And if you do, will you include a Discord chat or something? I don't know when exactly I'd stream, but I feel like doing a Discord chat thing would probably help me ease into it more because I'll have other people to talk with and stuff, so potentially, yeah. What do you think is the most underappreciated video game console? I miss the Vita so fucking much. I can't think of any funny question, so I'll ask this. If you get Pokemon Sword or Shield, which are you getting? And what's your friend code? What, you think I'm just gonna post my friend code on the screen right here, right now for everyone to see? What do you think I am, a fucking idiot? Also, probably getting, maybe both, but I'm leaning towards Sword. What's the best Pokemon revealed for Sword and Shield? Score Bunny, no question. Has there been a time where you wanted to remake a video, whether it was bad, you wanted to add more, or you weren't clear on? Apart from everything wrong with Ratchet and Clank 3, I don't really think so. I don't usually look back at my videos and think, oh, I wish I could redo this. I usually look back and go, wow, look how far I've come. Who's a good boy? Is it you? Is it you? Sparky, please. Not in public. Alolan Raichu or regular Raichu? Which do you prefer? I do like Alolan Raichu quite a bit, but you can't really go wrong with OG Raichu. What upcoming games have caught your eye lately? Honestly, not many. At least not many AAA ones. There's a few indie games I've been following. For example, one that's been popping up on my Twitter a lot is a game called Other, Her Loving Embrace, which is sort of a hybrid between a turn-based RPG and a 2D, I guess, platform fighter. It's currently in the middle of a Kickstarter campaign, so if I remember, I might actually leave a link to it. But there's a 3 hour demo that you can actually play right now. As well as that, I think there's a game that just came out called Disc Creatures, which I haven't had the opportunity to try yet, but it's very clearly inspired by Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow. I think it was made by one dude, which is pretty impressive considering he's managed to fill the game with 200 different creatures. I'm not sure if it's actually any good or not, but I don't know, it's been on my radar for a little while. Can we collaborate sometime? Now, usually, I don't include questions from people trying to shill out or ask me to collab or anything, but I don't really have any plans to collab with anybody at the moment, and I don't really have any room to sort of fit any sort of collaborative material into my upcoming videos. But I won't say no. I'm always open to that kind of stuff. Got any ideas for live streaming or podcasting? For live streams, obviously I definitely want to play the Ratchet and Clank games live for you guys. Also a lot of Super Mario Maker. I'd sort of love to play that live as well. Maybe play some levels that you guys have created. But I don't know, watching people play Mario Maker live is a lot of fun usually. My other thought, kind of stupid, I think, but rock band karaoke would be kind of fun. Hey, like I said, public humiliation kink. Which moment in pop culture and media has resonated with you the most? The ending to Inside Out, I think, was particularly relatable, and it was also the first time that I actually cried at something, like not just my eyes watering up a little bit, but like actually crying. As well as that, I've also mentioned in a previous video that Katsun's video coming out was also a big inspiration to me. That's actually the video that made me want to come out publicly in the first place. So yeah, those two. What do you smell like? Fermenting cat piss. What do you think about Trump shitposting on his Twitter account? I got no problem with it. I wish he'd stop retweeting it for extra clout though. What's something you've always been interested in, but the only thing preventing you from achieving it is yourself? Learning art and music, I think, would be the two biggest things. And obviously I've started actually having a go at art, and that's actually going somewhere, but music is still a bit of a sticking point because I need to go get my guitars fixed, and then for some reason I see that as a lot of effort, even though it takes about an hour, if that, and then actually plugging it in and playing Rocksmith with it, it sounds like so much effort, and I just don't have the time for it. What is the worst Ratchet and Clank game that isn't Secret Agent Clank? Well, I wouldn't have even picked Secret Agent Clank as the worst game anyway. I actually didn't mind it. I thought it had a bit of fun with itself. My least personal favorite though is Quest for Booty, just because it brings absolutely nothing new to the table, and it doesn't really progress the story in any meaningful way. It just kind of exists. There's no reason to play it. You can just skip over to a crack in time and you'll pretty much be caught up. At least size matters. As genuinely horrible as I think it is, at least tried something. What are your top 10 weed eaters? What the fuck is a weed eater? On a scale of 0 to Vor, where do you draw the line? Vor. Got a favorite visual novel? Well, the only one I've finished is Katawa Shoujo, so I guess by default that one is my favorite. If you weren't making content on YouTube right now, what would you be doing instead for a job? Don't know, to be honest. I guess I'd be trying to make it as a writer or something. Otherwise I'd just be doing a standard job. I don't know, working in retail, making pizzas, whatever fucking limited job there is down here. Water sports? Yes, I'm making you answer this on not live, not television. Dude, I love water polo too. Jokes aside, I am not answering this. Uwu or Owo? I've said Uwu and Owo way too much in this fucking video. I'm more of an Owo guy though. And finally, who's your waifu? If you answer this ironically, I will scream. It's hard to pick a waifu without sounding like a creep because they're all under the age of 18, so... I mean, at least if we're talking about anime waifus anyway. Fuck it. Ryuko from Kill la Kill or Ritsu from K-On? What, you were expecting something funny? I can't even think of an ironic answer. I'm tired, leave me alone. Anyway, I think that's it. Again, thank you for everyone who submitted questions for this video, and thank you for everyone who has been patient actually waiting for regular content. Honestly, these Q&As are pretty fun, so I kind of want to do them not regularly, but maybe, I don't know, like every year or so. Not only because they're fun, because I also sort of want to work on my unscripted delivery, which, as you can tell by this video and every other unscripted video that's preceded it, is pretty bad. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, what the fuck is wrong with you? But click subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, yada yada yada. Donate to my Patreon if you want to vote for the next D-Raw video. And I think that's it. I'm not missing anything. I'm just going to stop the video here before I embarrass myself. I'll catch you guys soon. Oh fuck! Oh, microphone! I embarrassed myself.